Somebody said that Brooklyn needed a little balance. I think we found it. The change niggas pitch when we found it all in the fountain. To the top we mountain. At the top we bigger than mountains. Take your shit, we bouncing. Ain't no making no damn announcement. Said I gotta get it. Gotta have it, don't you forget it. Steady representing. It's a habit, I never quit it. Got a lot of carrots and snow bunnies. Never committed, watch me murder it.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breece's Pieces from What's Cooking NYC, and you're now tuned into another episode of Brooklyn Balance. You get me?
What up? It's your man Slap Shot here on Brooklyn Balance. Bringing back the balance to Brooklyn. What's up, Meekz?
All right, y'all. Welcome to an episode of Brooklyn's Balance. This is season 3, and this episode is Podcast 101. You are sitting down with me, your host, Miss Meekz. Zay, my co-host, who is not here today, but he is here in spirit, and I am sitting down with
like he died.
I'm sorry. And I'm sitting down with 3 other of my media friends and influencers and content creators. So we're gonna start with ladies first.
Yes, what's going on, y'all? It's Stella. My name is Stella, and I'm here representing for Brooklyn Balance with my girl Meekz. And we got my guy over here who's gonna introduce himself.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. We're going to throw it to you. Shots, slow peas.
Slow peas. Yeah, slow peas. Yeah,
slow
forgot. What's the word? Your man Slap Shot here from the ADD podcast. I also have the Vent. Follow my YouTube page at Slap Shot here. We'll probably writers on there. Also interviews on allhiphop.com. And my first printed article about to drop too. So I'm pretty proud of that. So yeah,
Hey.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Breece. Some of y'all know me as Breece's Pieces. What's Cooking Podcast, home of the hottest upcoming entrepreneurs, business people, entertainers, and investors around the world.
Right, so we are here today to talk because we all have platforms and we all see everyone else out there with platforms, and we are not all struggling, you know, we not like slow peas, but we're all trying to get somewhere, but it's a little hard when you start to see these other shows and this little area is becoming saturated. So with Podcast 101, the first thing that I want to point out for my season 3, Brooklyn's Balance is not a podcast. This is just Brooklyn's Balance, the show. And as you see, for season 3, we have come back home and stepped up our production. Brooklyn's Balance, the show. Tell us about y'all shows and what y'all have going on that you feel sets you apart from other shows. And so, because people need to know, we can't be out there like Derek Jackson and Tonight's Conversations and all those other hot, spicy, shows. We all trying to come up and get there, but I feel like everybody trying to do the same thing, but how we gonna get there? So tell them a little bit about y'all, and then we gonna jump into the mess.
I like that. I like what you said, because a lot of us is doing some of the same things, but what are you doing to like stand out and be different? So like I said, my name is Stella. I have a platform called Stella Talks where I represent artistry of all kinds. So not just musical artists, but also entrepreneurs, because in my eyes, I think entrepreneurs are also artists too, right? If you could create an idea, create something, and make a movement out of it, I think that's, I think you're an artist.
Right.
All right. And so there's so many different artist forms. And so, yeah, I like to promote artistry. I'm really big on my events. But I do want to start, I do want to start a podcast soon. So that's what I'm working on.
What about you, slow peas? Or Breece's Pieces? It's the Breece's Pieces.
No, when he said that, I was like, I like that name.
That's my Instagram. That's why. But it's crazy because people call me that in real life. That's why I'm just like, I might as well start jacking that.
Who started that? Some girl?
I ain't go. Yeah, that's really how it started.
She liked you. She was like a lot of chocolate.
She gave me that. She gave me that nickname. And
Don't
I said,
be calling him that.
I was like, that was my creative, so I stuck with it, and then my people actually liked it, and then fast forward now, people actually call me that, like, in real life. So I'm just.
I call you Breece. That's all I got. I don't know about the pieces. That's
so,
the melt in your mouth, not in your hand. I'm not doing that.
That was fine. She could have so.
Wait, so who's doing this?
Whoa, went too far. You can go ahead. You were talking already.
Yeah, so my platform's also for entrepreneurship. So, we have a lot of panels as well with business professionals, and they come in and talk about what's going on. I'm also tied with the WAPA music group. and we do this thing called the Henny Taylor Studio Vibes. Once a month, we got an event coming up this
Shout out
Friday.
to that. Any artists who
Yeah.
need that, please come the fuck up out my
Yeah.
inbox and head into his.
No, don't go into my inbox. Go into the Henny Taylor Studio Vibes inbox.
That
Right,
part?
that's the Instagram right
Yeah,
there.
nigga said, leave
But,
me alone.
Yeah, because a lot of artists come to me thinking I'm a music platform. I'm not.
Oh, we gonna get to that. Finish your
Right.
introduction. We gonna
So-
let Slow Peas go and we
So
gonna
like
take
you
it.
feel me? I'm all about entrepreneurship right here, right? I got my boy Sean Mine say he made this hat. I had the matching hoodie in the car, but I couldn't wear it because my boy Pretty Boy Pat, he put up on me, gave me a custom 101 right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but
Shout out to these entrepreneurs out
feel
here.
me?
We entrepreneurs as well.
yeah.
but,
So
you
he
know,
made me a custom
No,
hoodie right
yeah.
here. I got the shades by Cleachy right here. Shout out to
Look
Kadeli.
at that.
She
Nobody don't give me
feel
no
me?
free shit. Stop coming up here.
her
not
press
giving me
release,
no
her media
shit.
press release day is on Friday as well. So definitely tune into us. So we got have a lot of vlogs going on for all the events that's going on for the Juneteenth weekend.
Right.
And yeah, I'm just here representing for everybody around the city. I thought my platform was good, be a huge problem solver to the community. Since people always say people don't support their businesses and stuff like that, so that's what I'm here for. So
And now you got it.
that's what we're going for.
Slow Peas.
My mission
You
statement.
the veteran sitting here just
Wow.
so that they know the value.
AKA old nigga. You heard how she just slipped it in? My platform, any platforms that I do is just pretty much to push all alignments and all sorts of like black culture forward. You get what I'm saying? All sides of it. Obviously when I do all hip hop, it's mostly like artists and things of that nature. With the ADD podcast, that is to display pretty much entrepreneurship. Like everybody else, I guess we all have that knack, being that we are entrepreneurs, we understand that it's difficult, so we like to get those stories. So I'm guessing that's why we all have that in common to want to show.
Listen, we
like,
could be the trendsetters when it comes to the entrepreneurship.
Exactly. And then I started the show The Vent because basically it was really to inspire me because, like when you're trying to get your own art out there, it could be very discouraging. So I wanted to get stories from other people who were once discouraged and were able to break through. You understand what I'm saying? So they give like tough stories and tough moments that they've been through. And so
Let me know when you're ready for me. I got a story.
you got a story?
I got a
Nah,
lot
I need
of
you on the vent. Nah, whenever you got an hour and a half, bro, it's an interrogation room. I got you. So yeah, and then we're probably right. It's just where I talk hip hop, man. I'm so old and I've studied like so
So
much.
wise.
You feel me? You understand what I'm saying?
Seasoned.
Yeah,
Seasoned.
exactly.
like
So all these are adjectives for nigga. You gotta chill. So what you call it? So pretty much, yeah. That was just to like be able to relate old school and new school together and how it all relates and shit like that. We just put out our 10 best ever MC list, and so yeah, check that out when you get a chance. But like I said, it's just to show all facets of black culture because they look at us as like a monolith, and I just want to show like every part of us is dope. That's really what my mission statement is and everything that I put together.
So what Mr. Breece's pieces was gonna bring up, which it seems that y'all have in common, you kind of little percentage, is artists and providing an outlet for the artists. Brooklyn's balance is not that. That's not what it is. To be honest, I've dibbled and dabbled, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like
interviewing artists?
talking. I don't like interviewing artists.
Yeah.
I don't care. What keeps you going and how do y'all do that? Because they're difficult people to work with. Not anybody who has been on this show, so I don't want nobody to feel no way. Everybody, all the people
She's
who
talking
I've-
about you,
who
nigga.
I have had through are good. I've just seen things that I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk to that person. I'm not gonna talk to that person because there's a lot of stigmas attached to them. How do y'all handle that?
Simply put, I mean, in my case, it works for me because it's like I have the Henny Taylor studio thing. So it's like when they hit me up like, yo, I want to be on your show, I'm telling them, yo, straight up, I don't work with artists, but I have this alternative for you right here. So the thing is, now it's funny because none of them actually show up. So
Don't you also charge them?
what do you mean?
Don't you charge
damn.
them? Yeah,
That nigga hit this out on the street.
We got
Nah, I mean,
like,
look, nah, cause look, like, I mean, now I do charge like with my episode stuff, yeah. But like when it comes to artists, it's like I'm picky, like with who cause that's the thing. I don't want
supposed to be.
I don't want to let too many cause that's the thing. Now you got artists who just started yesterday start rapping. I just
Healthy
wanna
boundary.
pull
Yeah,
up.
you gotta set that
And
boundary.
it's like there's some money hungry people who be like, all right, cool, pull up to your show, and it decreases your value, but. With me, it's
Not
like
even
I
that,
don't.
they don't do the same work that you're doing. You coming up here thinking that you getting my followers, but you're also not promoting me. It's supposed to be a each.
See,
it's
there's
supposed to
that
be a
too.
help. So
Supposed
I
to be
don't
a
feel
Brooklyn
the need.
There's
balance.
that too. I ain't gonna put out no
Yeah.
names. It's been a
Right.
couple artists on my show. Like, you know, I don't have too many artists, but a few artists that's been on my show. It's like they didn't even share my shit. Like, unless I tag them, they go repost it. All right, cool. But
And that's
they
about
ain't
it.
share it, or they didn't go out their way to. Like, there's people who make mad reels. Like, Cleachy, like this girl. Like, by the time I drop the episode, everybody already know what it is because she makes a reel like every day.
Yeah.
Which I respect, but it's like
I need some shades.
artists,
My
they
birthday's
don't.
June 15th, the day this drop.
Artists, they don't
Hint,
do nothing. They don't even the pictures. Like, they don't post the
So
pictures.
let's give the PSA
So I'm
right
just
now.
like, yo.
This is the reason why a lot of you artists are not being able to get on people's platforms. These are the stigmas that we're talking about. You show up late. You don't show up at all. You don't promote nothing. All you worried about is gathering other people's followings. And I get it. It's the hustle. It's the
Oh, the
I gotta
image
get
too.
here with the numbers.
Yeah,
but bro, what
facts.
about us? You still need media at the end of the day. Cause who's gonna break that new song for you? Who's gonna show up to your listenings? Who's gonna record you and take pictures so that we can help you to get these places? Artists, stop it. Y'all not helping us. It's supposed to be each one teach one. Y'all not helping us whatsoever. So PSA, get your shit together. Do you feel like we saying something different? Because maybe you got a different take on it.
No, shit.
Because I don't charge,
'cause
I
I do
don't
wanna
charge
add something.
artists.
So,
And I feel like all my friends, y'all are my peers. A lot of y'all have told me that I should.
so like for me, I
You
don't
should
know.
in general.
Yo,
You should charge
the reason why I
Absolutely,
could- I like-
absolutely, I agree. Cause you know, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, do your thing.
No, I want to hear you.
No, I mean like my situation with that is I love what I do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I love it. Like so, like you said, you hate that part of it. I respect that. You understand what I'm saying? Because some people do, and some people just do it because it looks like real cloudy to just I can't rap, so I might as well do that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Which I can't knock either because that's how I started.
Right.
But this is like
You
my
started rapping?
No, I
Oh my God,
couldn't.
always
I
been
know.
stuff
No,
from
I knew
people.
I couldn't rap. So this is why I started. This is why I started doing this shit.
He
But
couldn't rap. Breeze, can you play ball? Because you got height.
you got it.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nah, it's not. But yo, I like doing this shit. But at this point in my life, like she said, with healthy boundaries, like I have been sat across from A-list celebrities. You
But
get what
see,
I'm
you
saying?
can
So
do
now I
that.
can. So now I do charge.
You
I-
can do that.
Yeah.
But me and maybe Breeze, we also might be in two different lanes.
Mm.
How would I go about, like, yeah, I'll interview you and bring you on my thing, but this is my price.
The reason is 'cause
Absolutely.
you gotta
You're
you gotta
easy.
look at you just gotta look at two things, right? The value that you bring and two, the content that you bring. Because we're in a content creation era where it's like people worried about pictures. They worried about they don't even if you don't have like a big following. The fact that you have like 4K cameras and stuff, they want those pictures.
Yep.
They want those. Even like look with cameramen. Like this cameraman who just started taking pictures yesterday. They're getting paid like by anybody because people see, oh, you got a nice camera. You did good
quality.
shoots, stuff
Right.
like that. So I don't mind paying you to take my pictures. You see what I'm saying? So it's
And
like
real quick,
But these
just
artists
to-
be cheap in
just
real
to-
life. But go ahead, yeah.
They
Real
does
quick,
do.
if you
not
just
just
take-
artists, anybody.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it with entrepreneurs, like people that supposedly
I'ma get to
making
it.
people
But I'm
supposedly making
saying,
six
real
figures.
quick, take a look around. Take a look around.
It's the production.
You understand?
Mhm.
People are making videos in their crib.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I'm here in the
Look at what
studio.
you doing.
I mean, I tell people all
So,
the time, I pay for studio
like
time,
he's-
just like you got to pay for studio time. I don't know if you sleeping with your engineer, whatever your business is, that's your goddamn business. All right? But me, I got to go to work. I got a 9 to 5, and then I come and I take care of my passion. So I get it. I understand. But that's why I also feel like I can only put a value on me if I feel like I get to a certain point.
You are the value. Look
I
at the
get-
value.
I
This
get
is
it,
already-
but
nah,
I
this
feel like
already
the
valuable.
artist, well,
Yeah.
Nah, but
thanks
you
for
know,
the inspiration.
that
Yeah,
should be,
nah, we cutting that
that's-
part. You gotta cut
no,
that part.
that's
Because you are the value.
yeah. So
You
that's
are-
it.
look at-
Once you start, it gets easier because
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. Like when I first started charging people, you know, I'm a little nervous. But what I realized about charging people is it speeds up this whole business process.
Right,
It's
'cause then
either-
you see who real
yeah,
and who-
no, I don't have to talk to you anymore.
Right.
If you don't want to pay the money, you ever seen the Bronx Tale?
That literally happened to me this morning.
Okay, where he was like, yo, boy, owe me $20. He was like, I don't even like the nigga. He was like, all right, $20 to get him out your life. All it cost me is charging you to get
Right.
you to stop fucking talking to me. We don't got a small talk or none of that. Once I
Right.
charge you, is either you're gonna pay me and my time is gonna be compensated. Now I can listen to this bullshit that you about to utter in my ears, or you not. and I don't have to listen anymore. So
That
it makes it mad easier. It makes
That
it way
part.
more convenient.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all gave me a little bit more on that.
I
Y'all
don't
gave
know.
me.
I just feel like it's all about the interpretation of how you see it. Because like with some people, it's like again, you could have like the cleanest cameras and everything, mics, all that, and they still won't charge you because you're not like
That's
a
what
big
I'm saying.
blue check mark platform
it's the
or something.
person. They're gonna look like, oh, I just heard of Meekz. Let's keep this a stack. Brooklyn's Balance has been
doesn't
around
matter.
for
You
3.5
just heard of Meekz.
years.
You just
I've
heard of Meekz.
come into that circle. You're right. I've just tapped into the artist circle. But if you've ever been anywhere with me, I know people from left to right, to up to down in different segments. It may not be the artist thing, but I also got my peers who can help with those situations. I'm not one of those people that's going to be like, oh, I can do it. Like, nah, I can send y'all other places, but I don't like dealing with the artist. If you're coming up here, we're coming up here to have a conversation. My show, not a podcast, my show is a discussion-based show where we talk about recycled content. I am not here for the interview. So that means come up here, let's talk about women's rights. Let's talk about what the record labels are doing to you. Let's talk about how you got to pay a lot of money for these shows, but you come to me and you don't want to pay however much time for the studio time. Let's talk about your mans who may have stole your song. Let's talk about the other people who rip you off on other shows and create the net. That's what I want to talk about. I am not here for while you was cooking crack in the kitchen and your mom was on Section 8 and you had to figure this shit out. Do that shit on somebody
That's
else's
me.
show.
That's what
Go to Slop's show. Hit me up and I'll send you to him if you don't want to talk to him. But like he said, if you don't go in your pocket, your good pocket, we ain't fucking got it for you. So we all have shows, podcasts, or whatever the case may be. Do we understand what a podcast is? Because remember, last time when we did this, I did this in a different type of studio. And yes, I'm going to talk my fucking shit. We have upgraded. I'm in a different location. And of course, production matters. Does everybody understand what a podcast is? Because I think people out there don't know what it is. And everybody think they could fucking have one.
When I started the podcast and stuff like that, honestly, the podcast to me was just like a radio show that you could listen to on demand. That's when like streaming first started,
right?
And you could get an on demand video on cable and shit like that. That's what I thought podcasting was. You know what I'm saying? But I remember the last time I was here, you actually had it by definition. You had the definition of what a podcast is.
Do y'all know what it is?
I ain't gonna lie. I forgot what you said. You definitely said something that went way like
way
left
over
from
our
what
head.
I-
Yeah, I haven't started a podcast as of yet. So like my platform is usually live shows, but definitely enlighten us.
Which the ignorance of people today would just call it a podcast.
Yeah.
Because the people who don't know would just go, that's a podcast. And you're like, no, nigga, it's not a podcast. It's a series or collections of videos or audio files put together to be able to tell a story or to talk a topic or to provide entertainment. So now, if you could sit there and look at certain shows, the Joe Budden Show. What does it say? The Joe Budden Show. Somebody out there is going to go, that's a podcast. No, he just kind of took everything now, broke it down. You see his production. He has other co-hosts up there, and they have segments that's broken down into a show. Carisha Please is a show. But it's also how you put it out there. It's really how we market it. When Brooklyn's Balance started, I started off as a podcast.
Carisha Please ain't a podcast because they definitely won that award, which I was so tired
Which
about.
is what
I think
Drink Champs
should have
also
won.
is not even a podcast
Really?
as well. They're a show as well.
Really? Good to know.
It's all in
good to
how
know.
we're
I didn't
putting
know
it out this day and age because we're all trying to get clout and we're all trying to be popping. How you put it out determines if it's a podcast. So if you're on Podbean and all these other areas, you're gonna end up being called a podcast. YouTube is just a video channel.
Yeah.
That's it. Once you go into Fire TV and Roku TV, which is all these platforms that Brooklyn's Balance was on when we started, and yes, I will be bringing them back, that stuff there goes into show mode because now you're picking up on more people that's supposed to be around the world, and that's supposed to help with your production to get you places to sit down in those live conversations. So we may be podcasting and podding, as they would say, but that's
it's not an actual
I don't
podcast.
identify as that. So when you say that, it makes me I don't know. It gets me upset. I don't like that shit. Like, I'm not, where did it say that I was a podcast? I don't do that.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's like my logo. Like when people look at my logo, because
Once you
of the
put a mic in it, it's over.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's Balance first logo was a mic and the Brooklyn Bridge. And it said Brooklyn's Balance Podcast. Once I realized what I was doing and researched, I came out of that. do you feel like your show is a podcast?
Not anymore. I mean, I do use RSS feeds and stuff like that, but I realize it's more of a show, especially because people pay attention more to the visual than the actual audio. So, especially too, it's just like the way I go about things. It's all like media driven. So it's like people like that come to my show. They're always like, "Yo, can I get the pictures? Yo, can I get the videos?"
Right.
Like, they don't actually listen to what they're even saying. So it's like, if they're not listening to what they're even saying, they just worried about how they look. Like, you know, they're not going to these audio platforms actually
At all.
listening and tuning in.
That's why I
So
only went straight
it's just
to
a YouTube show.
That's
Even
why I
you
did
see
that.
with me, I call it What's Cooking YC at this point. I don't even say What's Cooking Podcast. too much.
Podcast, right?
I
You
mean,
know,
I say both, but
I
still,
like that you said that because when I started my platform, that was another reason why I didn't even name it a podcast because it's not just the audio. First of all, like you said, is the visuals that a lot of people want. Like you know, is the attention span of like 90% of this generation is visuals, and it can't even be that long depending on
At all.
You know,
and you got to be entertaining from the gate. You got to be entertaining. So they need to see it. They need to physically see what's going on.
right. And don't get me wrong, podcasts can be successful as well, but I think it does start with the visuals, like you said.
You agree with that? I mean, you the veteran. You started differently, you know?
Damn, you make me feel like the only contrarian. So my podcast, you asked on like why would you consider your shit a podcast? My shit, like the ADD, that's a podcast. It's strictly audio.
Right.
I keep it in the essence of what I started listening to podcasts
Right.
before, which wasn't no visuals or anything
Right.
like that. Like the visuals was like a teaser part. Now the whole shows and stuff like that are kind of like on video. But when I started off, it wasn't like that. And I keep it like that. Like you said, but a lot of people aren't interested. So I know the people that do tune in, you get what I'm saying, are specifically tuning in for the entire show, for the content. You get what I'm saying? For the podcast. I know that that's what my audience for my podcast is. It's not nobody it's not no fly by night people. I have like a core audience. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I average out about triple digits every episode. You get what I'm saying? Which I'm proud of because it's hardly, that's probably the thing I promote like the least. You get what I'm saying? But once you subscribe, it pops up on your feed and you listen. And I know you're just there for the personality of me and my host. You get what I'm saying? It's not guest based.
See, and I love that you said that because that's something I wanted to touch on
Yeah,
too.
it's not guest based. We have guests, but I know you're coming to hear the stories that me and my co-host tell, and so that's why I consider that a podcast. Everything else, a lot of the shit people like when I do interviews and shit like that, they be like, "Oh, can I be on your podcast?" And that's what
That's
they really
not a
mean.
podcast.
But that's what they're really saying. They're really saying
ignorant.
they want to be on, or they call event a podcast. Event is an interview series. It's strictly on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I never really thought about it, but yeah, everything is separated in a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? And the ADD podcast is like really the essence of what podcasting really is. I want to keep it that way.
And if you guys are not subscribed to the ADD podcast, please make sure that you
what's
do.
good?
They call it follow
Or
now
Stella Talks.
on Apple. on Apple Podcasts, you don't subscribe no more.
I
You
used
follow.
to be on there. I came right up over that.
I
follow
like that you bring this topic up because you know what? You are enlightening a lot of people. A lot of people don't know the difference.
That want to
between-
start, yeah.
Yeah, because the first thing y'all want to do, me and my mans be sitting around talking about the same thing that all the little light-skinned brothers who seem to be upset and every woman hurt them on Instagram that you got to keep seeing
the
the real
light-skinned
about.
brothers.
Yep, the
Sorry to
light-skinned
the
brothers who
light-skinned
up
brothers.
there boo-hooing, creating a show going, oh, I can do that. I can do that. It's a lot of work. This is not easy. This is now the 3.5 year mark that you guys are now seeing Brooklyn's Balance. I had to rebrand and get different audiences and get different people to tap in. That's how I ended up with the artistry. I started, it was 4 of us. We went down, it was 2, there was 3, and then I had rotating
People come and go.
co-hosts, which, Slops was like, co-host is not really good. Maybe you want to call them guests.
People come and go.
But I don't like guests as well because guests
Yeah, I
show
was
the
about to
fuck
ask
up
about
late and then you can't rely on them. So the artists are not even bad as well. The guests are bad as well. And this is where I get on the entrepreneurs from because I pay for the show. We all pay for it. Maybe you at the point where you getting funding, but nigga, until I get there, you get what I'm saying? Like, we pay for stuff and then you watch your own people still show up late or call out at the last minute or don't show up and it's just like,
People
y'all
gonna be
handle
people.
y'all business like that.
People gonna be people.
So I already have a beef
The
with
game,
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
The game is the game.
I have beef with
baby.
entrepreneurs because everybody swear they rich on Instagram, but then it's like you tell them you charge like 100, they act like that $100 could kill their pockets.
I've seen
Hey,
artists
what
go-
that 100 coming with?
bruh.
You know what I'm
they don't
saying?
care
What
about
that
it.
no, you
it's-
gotta care. You care
they
about
don't
your
care
career.
for the
You care
investment.
about your movement, right?
Look. It's already set in stone. I'll tell people what's going on, like with my prices and stuff. You know what's coming.
There you
with
go.
everything.
And that's
And they still
where the
act
value
like
come
it.
in.
And they still
because it's
negotiate.
like,
No, but
All right,
here's the
so what
thing.
if I want
Not
this
even-
part? I
no,
just
not
want
even
this part.
negotiate. They
Right.
just be like, I'm gonna get back to you. And you know when people say I'm gonna get back to
Radio
you.
silence. Yeah.
They go.
That's like the Brooklyn.
Someone
I'ma
did
call
that to
you
me
back.
this morning.
Right.
Don't ever be rude because every now
Someone
and
did
then
that to me, like, I
every
was-
now and then they come back. One thing that's why I don't think I'm not rude because I've learned in this game like a
People
couple of them
gonna
come back.
spin the block.
A couple of them come
They
back.
gonna
It was
say
a
that a
rapper
lot.
too. That's the funny
Yeah.
part. It was a rapper for sure. But
It's
somebody
always
did
the
that.
rappers.
Yeah,
Somebody-
this whole
yo-
week he was just BSing the whole week. I'm just
But
like, yo,
my
bro,
thing, I'm gonna throw
not
this
getting you
out
up
there
here.
back to the artists, because what you just said just hit me. And even though this is not what I want to talk about, I know these artists gonna be like, this raggedy bitch. Yeah, but y'all still in my inbox. It's okay. I don't see y'all do this to Gabe for on the radar.
Yeah.
Y'all don't do that. Y'all gotta reach a certain amount of numbers for him to even be able to reach out to you. Even if you do the submission, you still gotta have that following. Do you know that we play a part in that? We can help with that. That could have been a boost to that. That could have been something else that we did that went viral. Yeah, you could go and shoot your music videos and you do all that other stuff, but you still need us at the end of the day. I'm not saying that we don't need you as
They
well,
gonna search you up.
but you need us a little bit more. Depending on what type of show it is, yeah, then we need you. But
There's a balance.
Exactly.
Brooklyn balance.
so co-host and guest, the last time that we was speaking about this, you brought up how you found particular co-hosts based off of your same interests. And I said, that shit ain't work. That shit ain't work for me. I started with my friends, my Ace Boone Coons, and
You see, but there's a difference between
Some of them ain't
friends and
friends.
people that have similarities with you. Like my co-hosts aren't people that like. These are like, even though I knew them,
strangers turn family.
yeah, basically. So these are people, you know, I had on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. All right, cool. But like, I didn't really grow a bond with them until like this happened.
Until
like,
we had a show together.
We knew about
'Cause
each
y'all-
other.
yeah.
Like we
Right.
knew of each other, of course. But like,
You had mutual goals
Yeah,
to
until we-
do something successful. Yeah,
But
that
most
makes sense.
businesses, when people start businesses, let's say Apple with Steve Jobs, probably started it with a family member or a friend, correct?
No, he started off Windows with Bill Gates, and then they kicked him out.
My point.
Yeah,
So
so
I mean,
yeah.
it's still proving whether you're doing it with a stranger, or whether you're doing it with somebody that's
With a
close
homie.
with it.
People
You're
come
not
and
always
go.
gonna start the same way. So just know
That's
that.
a
And
fact.
a big thing for me is continue to keep going. Be consistent. Whatever you choose to do, be fucking consistent about it. If you decide that you want to strip on your podcast every day, bitch, we better see a titty or something, please. Don't change and be different. I mean, you can adapt in a different season, but don't,
This
you
said
know.
don't rebrand. If you showing vulva, if you see
And love the dirt, love the process. Because
saying.
you just said earlier, like 3 years in, you know what I'm saying? Here you are,
Right.
And like doing, you know, and
Because I could
the
have gave
upgraded.
up a long time ago. There was moments I wanted to give up. I was crying. My editor sitting there like, nah.
You know what? You know what I appreciate about you? You not scared to give yourself like flowers and shit like that. Like you appreciate.
Because if ain't nobody else gonna do it, I
you,
gotta
nah,
fucking
you
do it.
appreciate
Love
the
the
shit.
dirt,
Like the shit
yeah.
I don't even be
process.
thinking about. I'll be like, nah, dead ass. I do. You understand what I'm saying? Like I do this and I do, and shit just become like second nature. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real shit. Like you've shown like you endurance in this race, in
Right,
this
thank
marathon.
you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's dope. That you.
It's
that you
also 'cause I'm a
understand that.
Gemini.
And dedicated, you're dedicated to.
I'm a Gemini. Me,
That's a
Kanye,
My
you know,
daughter.
we all not about to
Happy
give
birthday,
up.
baby.
Oh, my son
Yeah.
Kanye too.
Yeah.
My
ask you a
girl
question,
Wanda.
though?
There's a couple of us.
can I ask a question though? Do you guys feel like
Yes.
sometimes your guests feel a little too entitled?
No, I've never had that because I humble a nigga real quick.
I feel that.
I humble a nigga real quick.
No,
You know,
you
Meekz
like
ain't
some people-
afraid to humble.
No,
I mean, like you asked me offset too. It's like there's some people where it's like, you know, I was saying like there's some people who they just get the episode and that's it. You never heard from them again.
Oh, there's a couple of niggas.
And that's okay.
Or
That's
there's some
why
people who don't-
it's a service.
No, there's some people.
It's a business, right? It should be a
This
business.
shit, my
but-
content.
Yeah.
What
like
some
if
people
you
who
go to
don't
my
too.
YouTube page, you could tell who works. There's probably 2 artists up there, not to talk bad about them, but you didn't put in that work. So you can't get mad when you see me with these new artists. They putting in that work. Don't get me wrong. I don't care about the followers and the numbers, and I say that shit all the time. It's about the work that you put in. If I see that you're not promoting your episode, nigga, I'm not about to promote your episode. I'm going to promote my brand, but I'm not going
Right.
to particularly promote that one. I don't give a fuck about the view on that one. I'll get millions of views on the other ones and I'll work on it and celebrate every fucking accomplishment down to the 60 views, the 80 views. I just looked the other day and I think I got to 300 subscribers and I was like, I think I was at 150 when everybody left me, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Congrats.
this is amazing,
Yeah.
right? Thank
Doubled
you.
up on niggas.
Right,
You understand
that
what
I'm
I'm saying?
looking at views on episodes every day go up. I'm like 300, 350. I'm getting reels, people cursing me out. That's how you know you made it when a nigga curse you
When
out
you
under your
somebody,
reel.
yeah, when somebody sticks
You
you.
start
like,
getting negative
did you
comments.
watch the episode, nigga? It's
Right.
clickbait.
Yeah.
But get your marketing up. That's a big thing for a lot of these shows. That's how a lot of people are getting out there is their marketing. How they're putting it out there, yeah, do it real. But some of the shit that y'all be talking about, I'm so tired of hearing about relationships. I never talk about relationships on my show.
See, my problem with that too is it's coming from random. Like, no offense to anybody, but it's like, yo, bro, you're a rant. Like, I gotta look at the camera. Like, I don't know you, bro. I don't know you from nowhere. You feel me? You think because you're in front of a like, I mean, I guess I'm a hypocrite because I'm in front of a camera talking.
Balance.
But it's like, you feel me? When it comes to influencers, all right, cool, I get it. Some people take that credit. Like, you know, if a millionaire tell you how to make $1 million, you're gonna listen to him every time. But if somebody who don't got $1 million is telling you how to get $1 million, you're not
That's
gonna listen
crazy.
to him.
Nah,
Right?
you know who
so
I
it's
feel-
the same thing with these relationship things, right?
Yo.
It be people that's single trying to tell you how
Like,
to
you not
hold
in
a
my crib.
relationship.
Hold
and
on.
shit.
No, you know what?
But you single.
That's how I feel
Shit,
about. I
Breece.
feel that about Fresh and Fit.
Ooh.
These niggas here seem like the least pussiest getting
I
niggas
stopped watching.
in the history
But
of
most of
pussy
these
and getting this
podcasts
ever.
is built
But
on
they're
that.
influencers
Before they
now,
had
so
clout.
you know there's
Before they
mad
had
gold diggers
clout.
around.
You understand what I'm saying? And it seemed like once they got if you could tell when a nigga like, why you so angry at them?
Why you hurt?
Relax,
'Cause
my
nobody
nigga.
touched his
Yeah,
private parts.
until you had money, now everybody's a gold digger. You understand what I'm saying? No, nigga,
Those
you
be
just
the
couldn't.
shits that get me
but,
mad.
you-
Or when they want to, or not even that. I'm not gonna sit here and say
I
it's
mean,
always
shit, look at the
men.
John Morant situation.
Right? It's women
Zion.
too. There's a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
women shows that they get up there and they talk shit. So there's this one show that
What's the name?
Angela
Tag 'em.
Yee
What's the name
Lip
of the
service.
show?
lip
Right?
service.
I love lip service.
Sometimes she do be downing her friends and talking.
Who's she?
Angela Yee be talking ish about her friends that are sitting there. Don't get me wrong, but every day people tune in and watch it, and every day her friends keep coming. You know, that's their business.
I like Angelique. I never
like
actually
it, but I
tuned
feel
into
like
the lip
people
service
are
though.
watching it for that. Like a lot of
I
stuff
never
that they
tuned
talk
in,
about,
so.
I just be sitting there like, I don't know.
I only like her on the
what
when
is
she was
this?
on the Breakfast Club, but I never actually tuned into lip service. I've seen clips, but never actually tuned in. So you're saying that like she degrades like
Her friends that who sit with
Really?
her. Sometimes she has those moments, and I don't know what it is. But even so, one of the shows that I did watch, Red Table Talk that I think got canceled, and we brought that up last time, and you was like, I don't know what that is.
Jada
And it was
Pinkett.
when Jada Pinkett sat down at this red table, and she would bring people there so that they could basically confess their sins like she was
you
Jesus.
ain't know what Red Table Talk
And
was?
he didn't.
What?
I'm gonna be real
That's
true.
what we
I
found
don't
out.
watch like not to sound arrogant. I don't watch like
Other people's shit.
other people. So
how you found my shit?
But here's the thing, right?
So how you found my
Now look,
shit?
when I started, like that's the thing. When I started, I mean, social media for me, the algorithm works how the
Marketing.
algorithm works. But key answer
That
right
part.
there. Key answer right
Cheers,
there.
Meekz.
But nah, look, the thing
Brooklyn
with me
balance.
is like I'm just not like a watcher type of person. Like for me, like people ask all the time, "Oh, am I a movie person, TV person?" I'll be like, "Look, if LeBron James not on my TV screen, I'm not watching TV."
I don't even like LeBron.
Tough.
It's like I don't like
Sounds like a
music.
you problem, buddy.
He lost it, so it sounds
But
like
nah,
a
you
y'all
get what I'm
problem.
saying though. Like I'm more of just like a sports guy, so I don't be watching like the
Right.
dramas. I mean, don't get me. I used to
It
watch
pop
sitcoms.
up on your feed.
I used to watch sitcoms when I was a kid, but
Right.
now it's like you feel me. I'm a busy guy. Like I don't have time to watch TV.
Damn,
To
bro.
watch the
Just
shows,
Shit
like-
on my hobbies.
Yeah, like I mean, like
I'm a busy
if,
guy.
Like if a show catches my attention, it's like all right, I'll probably grab it. Like for example, the Wu-Tang show, I was into that.
Always.
Bel
yeah.
Air, I was into that, but I wasn't consistent with it. I'd have to go take a random weekend out my month to catch up on 5 straight episodes. You feel me?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
how busy I
all
be.
that.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So
I like this guy.
Well, for niggas like me who be trying to grow, I watch other people's shows and I be like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That helps you to build. So get
No,
out
of
there
course.
and
I
do
do that
that
too. I do
research.
study people.
You know, Breece does it. He just
but I do it inconsistently.
That's it.
Because one person I love to watch is Max Maxwell. He's a Jamaican real estate investor. He has his own show. It's called the Endgame Podcast. And I like watching that. And yeah, I just take a lot of notes from what he says and stuff like that. I did like to watch Earn Your Leisure, but one they blocked me. I don't know why.
Earn Your Leisure blocked you?
I'm
Yeah,
blocked.
Really?
I think, I ain't gonna lie.
I went to their show in Madison Square Garden in
I ain't
December.
gonna lie. I think it's because I told them like they not good traders or whatever. Some shit, I commented
No,
that
you
one
did
time.
not.
But that
The
was months
audacity.
ago.
One
That's the
comment.
only thing I could think about. That's the
The
only thing I could think about.
audacity.
But it's like, you feel me? Because it's like.
So I like both of you guys.
I ain't
Like,
gonna say
first of
that.
all,
You know
I
what?
think
Fuck
that it's a balance. Because you're absolutely right, Meekz. Like, first of all, like when you're in a certain lane, I think that you do have to like pay attention to certain things
Yeah.
to know what to say, what not to say, what to do differently, and things like that. And to your point, not too much of like keeping a balance of like, okay, I'll things the lane that you're in, you're gonna study to an extent. Like you just mentioned that podcast that you're interested in, but you don't watch a whole bunch of podcasts. You don't watch
Even his
TV,
podcast,
or
I
you-
barely be having the time to even keep up. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
because your life be life,
would
and we
love
got
to.
only got 24
Right.
hours in a day. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, that balance, Brooklyn balance, is a key. So
I got a question for you, Mr. Slow Peas.
Duh.
It's for you, but it's kind of directed at us. I'm not sure if you have went through this, but I'm sure that you have a lot of other peers and friends, women who are in media. And I find that whether you talk to a lot of artists, think that when they see women in media, that they sleeping with these people to get interviews. Hence why I said what I said on Facebook earlier when I said dick is not a method of payment. Okay? Not everybody wants that.
Nah, because I
never
commented
thought
on it.
about
That's
that.
why.
He commented so, and then he should know by now. I set the trap, and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You in
Nah, I
it,
comment.
and I don't
So,
even
for,
remember your comment. But women do have a hard time in media, and it's very hard
yeah,
for me.
So, I guess at thing it depends on what type of media we talking about. I mean, like, cause like at the juncture, like when I do stuff and stuff like that, it's women dominated. It's women and femme gay men. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? So like,
do stuff like what? Sorry, let's clarify.
Have shows like Jason Lee.
no, not even yeah,
I
but
love
that too. But
Jason
also,
Lee.
but
Okay,
that
shows.
also,
And
also
Don't
like the
Call
one.
Me White Girl.
Don't call, but like, yeah, like
Just
no,
with the
I mean she
mess?
does a podcast, but like
Got you.
red carpet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we talking about like the people that do like interviews and corresponding things like that,
I want
like
to
media.
say our group, our
Yeah.
people, not the famous people, like our people.
So like I guess like on the level when I was starting off, yeah, but a lot of women thought that's how they would get ahead of the game.
like Wendy Williams.
As you understand what I'm saying? But at a certain point in a certain
I don't
level,
want no
there
dick.
are
Don't
a
come
lot
to
of
me.
there are a lot of promiscuous.
I don't want pussy neither.
It's a 50-50 thing. There's some that's promiscuous.
Right.
There's some that, but they're not fucking for interviews. You understand what I'm saying? They fucking because they was a fan of this person. They like this person's music.
But I think it's the approach. I don't think you realize a lot of men how they are approaching. That's how. Now I don't think they approach every bitch like that. I just think that they approach me like that. And
What's
I'm not
what's the approach?
99% of the time when I
Yeah,
come
what's-
out, I'm just like this. When I go to showcases, they think I'm a rapper because of the chain. I'm flattered.
I got to Meekz.
And you know,
Gotta put
I'm
me on with the
always
jeweler.
by
Word,
myself.
I meant to ask him when I first stepped in here.
Whenever I come in, the men already come to you and they talk, and then I sit there, I laugh, I dibble, I dabble, and then I go, yeah, I have a show. Oh, what's your show about? Oh, cause I do this, do that, and then it's like, oh, maybe I'll take you out for a drink, and let's say Slops or you sitting right next to me, y'all introduce us, say, yeah, what's up? I got a show. Like they already approached me differently, and then now you're in my inbox. And, yeah, we can hang out, we could talk, and we can and this, that, and the third, and it's like. Bro, no.
Right, and you got a team, Meek.
That's-
So
I mean,
the big
no-
thing about that, I feel like healthy boundaries.
So
Oh,
to
my
me,
team don't
like,
be
you
with
got-
me because I be leaving I love my team, but when I
Yeah,
be
but
ready
you-
to go, I be ready to go.
no, I want to I want to address that real quick. So like somebody like for me, if I offered you that type of stuff, it's not like as a form of payment or anything like that. You get what I'm saying?
It's free?
Because I mean, no. I'm talking about like
Put
if
some
I
value
if
on
I'm trying to
yourself,
if I no
King.
if, no. I'm not talking about my I'm not talking about my shows. Like
Got
I'm
you.
talking about like if it's a female, if it's like a female in media, because I can't sit here and be like, oh, I haven't. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we've connected.
So you used to be a hoe back in the days?
back in the day.
Just
No,
asking.
but thing, what you call it? But as far as that goes, it's never to offset the business. Like these things are completely separate. Like, cause there are some attractive women
Right.
that work in my space. So if I'm like, yo, you kind of,
Right.
It has nothing to do with like because there's women that I might have done something with, and we don't even talk no more. I still repost her shit. I still put up like, yo, artist, you need to holler at her. Like if you did thorough work, that's not going to stop me from promoting your shit. I just don't fuck with you on a personal level no more. You get what I'm saying? So it's not so like you said, like it's not a like if I'm offering you dick, it's not a payment. You get what I'm saying? Like whatever business we have is whatever business we have. And then maybe quite possibly I can, if you'd be so kind, give you some dick a little bit later. You get what
But
man.
that's you. A lot of artists come up with that, and it's not even for me to get at the artists, to be honest, because we gonna hit one more point that we out. It's really the women. A lot of older women are making it harder for us newer women because you chose to do that. So now we get approached that way. You was out there sucking dick for interviews and views. I'm not about to do it. Okay? Not
some
me.
that wasn't.
I'm not the
There's a lot
one,
that were.
2, nor the 3. And I'm
I wasn't
pretty
expecting
sure
that
women
transparency.
artists are gonna start coming to you wearing Fenty glitter, because I wear my glitter everywhere.
And I'm gonna be
faithfully.
like, come to the Henny Taylor studio vibes.
Nigga said start
I'm
there.
gonna send you the flyer.
But they do set up that precedent that, oh, well, such and such, it wasn't like that. This is kind of quid pro quo. Like, no, bitch, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Pineapples, I'm good.
You ever been propositioned?
Proposition, like, in that way?
Yeah, you never been propositioned.
As a guy, but I think
he
to Meek's point, as a female, is definitely a different experience, like coming up in the game and like the industry of media in general, whether it's music or like podcasting or shows, whatever it is. I think that it's definitely more of a challenge for women.
But my thing is, though, as an artist, if you're signed, why doesn't the label just pay for
For the interviews?
Yeah, like,
Because
are they doing that already with the bigger platforms? Like,
sometimes it depends. It really depends. A lot of the times, no. At a certain point, because they're
Niggas is faking it till they make it.
It's like Meek said. It's like a thing. It's like a give and a take. You get what I'm saying? But there's some. If you know your value, you know your worth. Like, all right, I'm bringing more to this than you charge. You tax niggas, man. It's up to you to determine your worth and stuff like that. Like, I would never dream about like shit. I fucking interview Bobby Shmurda. I'm not gonna be like, all right, my nigga, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I charge everybody this $300. What you trying to do?
You interviewed my boy from my
fact.
That's crazy.
So, but
I ain't never seen that. I gotta look at that episode. I used to be smoke in the rock bills. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Oh wow, that's
Because
crazy.
I just feel like, for example, right, Ice Spice and I ain't gonna put him on blast, but Son used to always watch my like he'd always show up in my story views. I'm just like, yo, who's sending him my shit? Like, I don't know if he was just looking out, like like out by himself, like he's looking at my shit himself, or somebody's sending him my thing or whatever. He used to always show up in the view. So I tagged him one time, and I was like, yo, like, what we doing? And he didn't reply to me, but still, it's like, let's just say for the sake of argument, right? He hit me up one day. He's like, yo, I want to get Ice Spice on your show. Like, I'm supposed to believe Ice Spice can afford, like, my prices?
You
All I'm
supposed to
charging is
believe that
$100.
she's going to drive the price. So you're supposed to believe she's going to drive the prices up.
No,
you
I
get what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah,
So once
I get that.
once the views
But
come,
I'm just saying,
the views
like,
that she's gonna bring,
yeah,
you're going to
that.
make, like, why am I sitting next
But
to
I'm just
you
saying, like,
if I had Ice Spice? If Ice Spice thought it was appropriate that she had to, when she doing her whole press run, if she thought it necessary to sit next to me, why am I doing it for you?
No, I get that,
You know?
yeah, with other artists. I'm saying in regards to Ice Spice. If Ice Spice was trying to argue with me for that 100, like, I'm supposed to really sit here and think, yo, Ice Spice, you can't afford $100, bro?
Yes. That's exactly what you're supposed to think.
I mean, don't get me wrong. An artist that big, I will give him a waiver, sure. But
With
it's just
an
like,
artist that big, you're dealing with management. You're not even dealing
no,
with
I know,
Ice
but
Spice.
you know what I'm saying though, like the
Yeah,
management.
for
Listen,
right.
I don't
guess
count
me and
nobody.
management could talk something out.
Don't
but,
even.
you feel me?
That's the thing. Don't even think
Going
about. Don't
forward,
even think
though.
about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what the next person pockets is. You charge your price and you live your life. That's all you can do.
I like
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
You
And that's
move
how
on.
that
You charge your
goes.
price and you ain't got to worry about them. They either gonna pull up or they not. Don't worry about the haggling, all that bullshit. It, like I said, the price makes life easier. You get what I'm saying? It cuts straight through the bullshit. So don't take it personal about who haggling you, because it's never gonna stop. You're always gonna go through that shit, bro. So just keep
So
it
the
moving.
moral of this episode was charge your price and live your life.
Ooh. Bars.
All I'm going to say, Brooklyn's
know.
balance, moving forward. Artists, if you guys want to talk, there's a price now. Appreciate y'all.
Price
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
that's
You know my
so
because I swear to God. I swear to God.
Meekz, if I could offer you some advice, just look at it like you wholesaling, basically.
You're right, but we're not talking to
'Cause that's
artists
how I
no
do
more.
it. That's
It's
how I
going
do it,
back to
like-
being my co-host. That's
No,
how
I'm just
doing
saying
it.
all
I've had
types of
enough
guests.
y'all
All
niggas.
types of guests.
Shit, can we
said
do
I
a
had
Brooklyn
enough.
balance shit?
I do a wholesale like with my episodes. feel me?
Oh,
I feel you,
My
but
My rent is this much. Everybody could pay
A
this
Brooklyn
much. I'm gonna
balance
get my rent
shit.
covered.
get your
Plus
fucking
a little
cup.
What's cooking?
We,
Where's
we
the
finished
Brooklyn balance?
Podcast 101. Again, I'm your host.
Yeah, I gotta
I
post
am
one for
Meekz,
that.
Breece's Pieces. What's cooking? Stella of Stella Talks coming soon. Slow Peas with all his shit.
I'm drinking
ABE,
sex
the
right
vet,
now. I'm
and
drinking
everything
sex.
Else. Thank you for watching this episode, season 3. If you got a podcast, figure it out.
Happy birthday to Brooklyn Balance.
We
You
out,
already
Jay.
know.